नमस्कार। फिर पैसा बोलता है में आपका स्वागत है। मैं आनंद श्रीनिवासन। आज मैं एक स्टॉक जिसको कंसिडर करने के लिए बोला था उसके बारे में बात करने के लिए उपस्थित हूँ। मैं अक्सर पब्लिक सेक्टर कंपनियों को नहीं खरीदता हूँ और नहीं कंसिडर करने के लिए बोलता हूँ, लेकिन इस केस में मैंने एक एक्सेप्शन दी और इस कंपनी को कंसिडर करने के लिए आपको कहा था। ये कंपनी जब आईपीओ आया उसी समय, जब लिस्ट हुआ उसी समय आपको कंसिडर करने के लिए बोला था। तो इस कंपनी का आईपीओ 25 से 26 रुपया में आया था और वो स्टॉक गिर के 20 रुपया तक नीचे आया। तभी मैंने आपको कंसिडर करने के लिए बोला, लेकिन उसके बाद स्टॉक का रूप बदला और लगातार बढ़ता गया और 52 रुपया तक ऊपर चला गया। लेकिन गवर्नमेंट तो लालची है, उसको हर बार पैसा चाहिए, तो उन्होंने गवर्नमेंट ने इस स्टॉक को और बेचने की शुरुआत कर दी। अभी उन्होंने अनाउंसमेंट कर दी कि वो 11.8% की स्टॉक बेचेगी। तो इसमें लगभग 7,600 करोड़ का पैसा गवर्नमेंट को मिलेगा और इस साल की जो पब्लिक डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट की टारगेट है उसको मीट करने के लिए ये एक इम्पोर्टेंट कदम है। मैंने क्यों इस कंपनी को कंसिडर करने के लिए बोला, क्या आप इस कंपनी को आज कंसिडर कर सकते हो? इस दोनों का जवाब इस वीडियो में देने वाला हूँ। टुडे आई एम गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट अ कंपनी which I normally don't, a sector which normally I don't consider or ask you to consider. I don't even think about these stocks. But in this particular case, I made an exception. I recommended that you buy immediately after the IPO when the price dropped by 20%. This IPO was launched at 25 to 26 rupees. The price dropped to 20 rupees when I asked you to consider this. And after consideration, this stock has steadily gone up to a point at 52.6 rupees as an all-time high. The government got too greedy and decided to sell off some of its stake, which has started to push the price of the stock down, and today is trading at 42 rupees. The company is going to put a big chunk of the stock on the market, which is virtually as much as the floating stock available. The government of India owns 86% of this company, and only 14% of this company is in the public hands. So the government wants to sell another 11.8%. It means the liquidity in the market, that is the amount of stocks in the market, will practically double. So one can expect deep correction in price. And because of this correction in price, after a deep correction, it gives you a good entry point. The time is not now. The time is when the offer for sale goes through and the government has dumped its stock. One has to be patient till then. What is the company I'm talking about? I'm talking about IRFC. It's basically a railway finance corporation, which is basically the nodal company through which railways raise money. This company was incorporated in 1986. In that period where the Prime Minister claims no company, nothing good was done. Of course, this is a company where he can sell 11% for 7,600 crores. The company has basically three operations. It is the funding arm for the Indian Railways. It mobilizes funds from domestic and overseas market. IRFC is now classified as a mini Ratna and has administration control under the Ministry of Railways, Government of India. It is registered as a systematically important non-deposit taking NBFC and infrastructure financing company with SEBI. It finances the acquisition of rolling stock assets. It again leases many of railway infrastructure assets and lending to other entities which help in railway, lending to other entities under the MOR, Ministry of Railways, for business operations. Leasing is a primary business of the company. The company follows a leasing model to finance the rolling stock assets and project assets of the Indian Railway. The lease period is for 30 years, comparing a primary component of 15 years and a secondary component of 15 years. As part of the lease, recovery of the principal component and the interest is affected throughout the primary lease period, and at the end of the lease, the assets are typically sold to the Ministry of Railways for a nominal price. In case of lending operations, the company raises money through infrastructure bonds and tax-free bonds and lends them to various companies within the railway like IRCON, Rail Vikas Nigam Limited, Konkan Railway, Rail and Land Development Authority, and so on. And C, it conducts borrowing operations on behalf from various sources on behalf of the Indian Ministry of Railways. It also does commercial papers and does international borrowings also. The company extends loans to other institutions such as basically Rail Vikas Nigam, IRCON and IRCON International, etc. In January 2021, this company was successfully went public and raised 4,633 crores in a maiden IPO, consisting of a fresh issue of 118 crore stocks and offer for sale from the promoter for 59 crores of stock. Basically, that is how this disinvestment is done. The price of stock immediately collapsed below the IPO price. I considered this stock for the returns it gives us. The profits are earned by leasing operations and dividends from that are distributed to the clients. Also, the company lends out a lot of money, which it in turn borrows from the market, and the difference, which is the net interest margin, is also that of the companies. These two operations have helped the company to grow into a behemoth. In the current year, the Prime Minister has announced a grandiose construction scheme. It is quite possible that this company will be in a position to raise money to finance these bonds and also enter into a partnership with an Indian fundraiser. The company also raised an equivalent of US dollar 325 million through a syndicated Japanese loan syndicate. The company's loan book is highly concentrated. That is, its entire exposure is to the Indian Railways and its subsidiary companies. This is the only risk I see. I don't see this as a big risk because India will not go bankrupt. But the only thing, the price is not going to rise. We have to see demand when the amount of stock doubles. The amount of stock available doubles. My advice to you, watch the stock, put it on your watch list, wait for a year before you can think of moving it. थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग पैसा बोलता है। आपने इस पॉडकास्ट में आए उपस्थित हुए, इसके लिए मैं आपका आभारी हूँ। आप ऐसा करें कि इस वीडियो को लाइक कीजिए, नीचे कमेंट लिखिए और बेल नोटिफिकेशन दबाएं ताकि आपको सारी वीडियोस जो हम लोड कर रहे हैं ठीक समय पे पहुंचे। अगर ये सब आपने किया तो इस वीडियो को अपने दोस्त और रिश्तेदार के पास भेजें और उनको देखने के लिए आग्रह करें। धन्यवाद। नमस्कार। जय हिंद। नमस्कार। फिर पैसा बोलता है में आपका स्वागत है। 26 अगस्त को हम बैंगलोर व्हाइटफील्ड में एक इवेंट करने वाले हैं। जो उधर मुझे मिलना चाह रहे हैं वो उधर आ सकते हैं। इन सब मीटिंग का डिटेल्स पता लगाने के लिए नीचे एक व्हाट्सएप नंबर और ईमेल आईडी है, उसमें आप संपर्क करें। मेरा टीम आपको सारे डिटेल्स दे देगी। नमस्कार। जय हिंद। धन्यवाद।